Howdy Hexers, Infamous Neo here, and I am back with another round of spoilers for Frostheart. We are a few weeks into spoiler season now, and we've seen some pretty interesting things so far. The factions themselves are really taking shape and making their playstyles known, and we've seen a lot of really cool standalone cards too. Today, we're taking a look at something that really puts the Fate Weave mechanic to work. This is almost certainly my favourite card of the cards I've spoiled so far. We're looking at an old friend in a new form. Some of you may have caught the card I tweeted out earlier this week, and if you didn't, then the card was Hailhawk. And as we are told in the flavor text of today's spoiler, the name for a cast of Hailhawks is a storm. Hailstorm is a 3-cost, single threshold rare constant that reads, when you Fate Weave, summon a Hailhawk. I will briefly go over Fate Weave for you guys. It's a consistency improving mechanic that is usually a bolt-on to another effect. When you Fate Weave, you can choose to either seek Fortune or seek Adventure. Fortune lets you put a random resource from your deck on top of it, and Adventure does the same, but for non-resource cards. So far, we've seen a few cards with Fate Weave, and only 2 of those are not Diamond or Sapphire. So it looks very much like Diamond Sapphire is going to be the shard combo of choice when it comes to altering your destiny. I think it goes without saying that free cards are good, and free cards that go to your board and have evasion are really good. This card is a bomb without even trying. A single Fate Weave after it's down and you have your value. Anything after that ranges from great to absolutely absurd. Hailstorm is a little different to some of the card creation mechanics we've seen in the past. It doesn't rely on a start or end of turn trigger, and it doesn't rely on being deployed or dealing damage to the opponent. Instead, it's tied to another effect. This means it's not limited to once a turn. It's limited to the amount of times you can Fate Weave, and it gives you the potential to spiral a Hailstorm into an army of Hailhawks in the turns that follow its arrival. Building around this rare is as simple as it gets. You have a champion in Kalilek, a gem in the form of the Minor Diamond of Fate, and a whole slew of commons and uncommons that trigger Fate Weave or trigger from it. If there ever was a card that asks you to force an archetype, it's this one. The more Fate Weave you get, the stronger you're going to be. You have Guidance, Heart's Whisper, Deathless Agent, and Deathless Infiltrator all to look out for, and if you still don't have your fill after those, then the Magic-Infused Ice of the Frostring Arena itself might assist you. It comes in 5 different flavors, and each one is spiced with a shot of fate. These are slow shards that don't offer you a second shard choice or a resource to spend on the turn you play it, but what they do offer is a chance to change your destiny. You can tell your deck which type of card you would like to draw next turn, and all for the small price of waiting a turn for your resource. It's a small price to pay, especially if you're creating a Hailhawk at the same time. Likely the Diamond and Sapphire ones will be the ones most sought after, but the others have some value too. They add consistency, and they can add some more Fate Weave triggers to those decks running the Diamond Fate Weave cards without Sapphire as a second shard. Once again, Constructed has my mind spinning. There is so much you can do with an army of free birds, and of course the extra consistency in drawing certain win cons means that in Constructed, it's more than possible this card is going to be a real threat. Almost all the tools are there. You have Draw with Fate Weave, Fixing, Reversion, and even an Interrupt. The question is, of course, do they fit together into a strong and cohesive deck? I could see a version of a Hailstorm deck without a need for troops in the main deck. Constants and actions could carry a decent weight, with the Hailstorm itself producing some avian threats as a possible win condition, or just troops to gum up the board. I love the idea of a deck where you can do what you want in terms of drawing or controlling, and producing troops is a side effect of doing those things. Having said that though, there might be some troops you want. Vision of Zeota seems like the standout perfect companion for this deck, and more importantly, it's a reliable constant source of triggering Fate Weave. Hailstorm and Zeota together can provide you with some pretty insane card advantage and draw manipulation. If they are left unchecked, that's a game winner. Personally, I love Hailstorm. It lends itself to a number of deck types just because Fate Weave is available in so many forms. There are a few strong potential constant decks on my radar now, and this is definitely one of them. There is going to be so much quality removal in this format that it might be time to turn our back on the troops. Let me know your thoughts on today's spoilers on the forums or in the YouTube comments. You can watch my last video by clicking on the left of the screen, or subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the right. I'll be streaming nearly every day on Twitch, so feel free to stop by. There's a link below the video if you want to check me out there. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.